मूढ़ो नाप्नोति तद्ब्रह्मा यतो भवितुमिच्छति अनिच्छन्नपि धीरो हि परब्रह्मस्वरूपभाक्. Mudaha means a person who doesn't think correctly. Such a person, mudaha, a confused person, a dull-witted person, an indifferent person, a person who is sluggish, a person who looks for information but not the reality. Like an intellectual looks for empirical information, he swallows information. He wants to collect information about everything in this world. That is a trait of an intellectual. That doesn't make you a jignasu. Yes, you are a jignasu in the sense you are interested in information. Apara vidya jignasu. But is also muda, because even if you study Vedanta, you collect it as an information. But about which is that information? That reality happens to be you. And your existence is not a piece of information. Information is always the language about it. The language about the reality is not a part of the reality. The language about one's existence is not a quality of one's existence, is not a part of one's existence. It may be an appearance in one's existence, that's different, but it's not an attribute of one's existence. It's like saying the word silence is not a part of silence. When I say the word pot is a part of the word object pot, because the word and an object are correlated. Abhidhanam and Abhideyam form one block, whereas the word silence and silence don't form one block. Amazing, ji. Snake and the rope don't form one block. There is no correlation. Between the truth and the error, there is no correlation. Between the seer and the seen also, the seer as the seer, purely seer, there is no correlation. With the sense of individuality and the object, there is a correlation. Individuality is different from the identity of being a seer. The identity of being a seer is different from the jivatvam, the individuality. Therefore, modo mudaha na apnoti, he is more interested in collecting information. And when he collects information, he thinks that is all the Vedanta about. No, Vedanta is not an information about you. It is you. Understanding yourself. That it only makes a statement about your existence, saying that thou art the Satyam. Supposing I live in some information about myself, just information about myself. The information about the truth is no different from the information about any topic. Because the information about the self is as much information, is as much a thought, is as much a realm of thinking, because the information and the thinking go together. The word and the thought go together. But That information about Vedanta is like information about Eskimos, about some history, or information about some wildlife, information about some relics, some historic places. It's nothing, ji. Information in the form of the language and thinking doesn't liberate a man. Man is living a kind of life which is a combination of shabda and pratyaya, thinking and the language. His whole life is nothing but thinking and language. Mudhaha na apnoti tad brahma. A person who is interested only in the information, a confused person doesn't achieve Brahman, means he cannot know Brahman. Why? Yataha bhavitum ichchati. Very beautiful, ji. Because he wants to become it. He wants to become the truth. That denies him the knowledge. The 10th man wants to come across the 10th man. If you want to come across happiness, you can never. If you want to become happy also, you can't. Coming across the truth is not possible. Becoming the truth also is not possible. And generally human beings are wont to becoming. They are wont to think, I want to become, I want to become. He never thinks in terms of the being. What am I being? What am I already being? Without the effort of becoming. Man wants to become. I want to become rich. I want to become happy. And ultimately I want to become liberated. I want to become unlimited. And becoming means change, transformation. And that is what it means, and that is what man means. Become means to change, a process of becoming, and that is what that word means, and that is what man means. When he says, I want to become rich, means now, right now I am not. I want to become in time. I want to become free in time. That is why a confused person, a dull-witted person can't know the truth. Why? Because he wants to become the truth. A dull-witted person can't be happy. He can't be happy because he wants to become it. In the very struggle to become happy, he remains unhappy. Okay, it is a contradiction. The struggle for happiness is a contradiction. It is contrary to the nature of happiness. The struggle for freedom is contrary to the nature of freedom. Having understood this, one has to think about one's existence. Mudho na apnoti tad brahma yataha bhavitum ichchati. Whereas a dhiraha, a wise person, dhiraha, a person who understands the distinction between becoming and being. A person who understands the distinction between thinking and being. In fact, every prakriya, every change, every process is contrary to being. If the sun wants to become luminous, it can never. It closes its eyes to itself. It says, I want to become luminous. Say, open your eyes to your nature. If the sun closes its eyes to its luminosity and thinks that I want to become luminous, it can never become. The ocean can never become the ocean. The wave can never become water. And man's entire search is in the form of becoming, please. Whereas the Vedanta say, hey, you can't become happy, you are. You can't become silent, you are already silence. Silence is jnayam, is a topic to be understood. It's not something to become. Your existence is a topic to be understood, not something to become. Whereas a jnani, a person who sees the distinction between becoming and being, anichannapi, even though he doesn't want to be happy, that is just even if he were not to, not that he doesn't want, but supposing he decides, it's like after waking up from the dream, even if you don't want to be free from the dream, you are still choicelessly free from the dream. That choicelessness is pointed out here. Anichannapi means choicelessly, not by choice. Anichannapi dhiraha, a wise man, he indeed, Parabrahma Swarupa Bhag, he deserves to be Brahman. He understands, he stands as Brahman. The moment he discerns between being and becoming, a wise man stands as Brahman, even if he doesn't want, choicelessly. Right thinking choicelessly leads to right understanding. Right thinking. Just as lack of right thinking, lack of right knowledge choicelessly leads to wrong perception. The error is choiceless, the correction also is choiceless. It's not subjective. The error is not subjective. You don't decide and make a mistake about the rope. The moment I miss what it is, that it is rope, I mistake it choicelessly that it is snake. The moment I look at it closely and understand that it is rope, there is correction of my perception. Therefore, right thinking choicelessly leads to right understanding. Lack of right thinking choicelessly leads to wrong perception. Choice is very limited, please. Only in some realms in life we use our choice. Our choice doesn't have a huge realm. What choice we have when you are feeling sleepy? You go to sleep. You have no choice. And choicelessly you fall asleep. You can't choose not to sleep. You can choose yes for a little while. Then the sleep supervenes. You can't choose not to sleep. You can't choose not to wake up. Nor do you wake up. You can't choose to wake up. You find yourself waking up. You find yourself... Therefore in life, the gamut of choice is very limited. It's nothing, ji. The gamut of choice is very limited. Therefore, choice is related to what you want to do. If you want to go somewhere, you can choose to go. You can choose not to. It is karma related. Your choice is your individual karma related. Your likes and dislikes are your karma related. You do what you like to do. The same thing can be said, you do what you choose to do, because your choice and your like are one and the same. Because generally, you choose to do what you like to do. Choice goes along with likes and dislikes. And when the choice goes along with likes and dislikes, and if the likes and dislikes happen to be very lopsided likes and dislikes, then your choice also is lopsided and you will become unhappy. Very rare is a person who uses his choice to go by what is right and to go by what is right, to do what is right. But generally, by and large, a human being does. Every living being does what he likes to do. Therefore, choice is karma related. I can't choose the tree to be something else. I can't choose the sun to be dark. I can't choose the fire to be cold. I can't choose a fact to be different. Choice is very, very limited. Therefore, don't gloat on your choice. It is nothing. The moment we understand the limitation of the choice, we understand our capacity to understand the limitation of our choice is greater than our choice. Yes. Understanding the limitation of our choice is understanding. And understanding that right knowledge is not by choice, wrong knowledge also is not by choice. Understanding power is greater with human beings than a choice. Because animals also have a kind of choice. They also have their own likes and dislikes. Animals have got their own, even though we say animals are programmed, but they are programmed to have their likes and dislikes. Even human beings, you don't really deliberately develop likes and dislikes. You find yourself with a like. Why do you like, you ask a person, he will not be able to explain. Why do you like that girl? Why do you like that girl? I don't know, I like that girl. Give me the right explanation. Give me some explanation. Why do you like that girl? If you say, I like that girl because she has a lot of money, then you don't like the girl. And then then you like the money. Then why do you like the money? Money, of course, is a need. It gives you survival, therefore you like it. That is all right. And liking money, liking comforts, liking shelter, liking good health, liking fresh air, it is all nothing but liking happiness. And that love for happiness is choiceless. Therefore, even the likes and dislikes, which are all happiness oriented, are choiceless really. If you think very deeply, your likes and dislikes are happiness oriented. If you follow what you like and if you choose to do what you like and avoid what you don't like, if you choose to follow your likes, it is only due to the love for happiness. If you choose to follow what is dharma, it is again due to the love for happiness. Therefore, anichannapi dhirohi parabrahma swarupa bhag. Man commits a mistake choicelessly. When I miss that fact, I mistake the fact choicelessly. When I see the fact, my mistake about the fact gets corrected choicelessly. When I miss the waking state, choicelessly I am in the dream state. When I wake up, I am choicelessly free from the dream. Therefore, the choiceless happenings are anadis. Choice has a beginning. I choose to. Choiceless happenings have to be looked at by man. Rather than thinking about what is within his choice. Don't dwell on the realm of your choice. Dwell on. Your existence is not by your choice. You find yourself with the three states, not by your choice. You find yourself with a sense of limitation, not by choice. You transcend that sense of limitation in sleep, not by choice. Therefore, the choiceless happenings, look at them. Going to office by your choice. Dwell on the choiceless love for choiceless phenomena in life. That I am searching for happiness is choiceless. That I am resisting all imperfections in me is choiceless. Therefore, I want to convey this point, just to think about. You can also think independently. The gamut means the realm of your choice is very, very limited. Whereas life is more of what is choiceless. Therefore, you don't have to gloat on your choice. I also don't. Just a minute. Abba. Next verse. Niradharagraha vyagraham. Niradharagraha vyagraham. Mudha sansara poshakaham. Etasyanarthamulasya मूलच्छेदः कृतो बुधैः Niradhara agraha vyagra. Vyagra means, preoccupied with, busy with. Human beings are busy with. What? Agraha means unnecessary agraha. Agraha means a wrong stand. I must have a lot of money to be happy, is agraha. I must have something here. I must possess this, I must possess that. I must be a doctor, Every ambition is an agraha. Every ambition is agraha, means, zid. I must achieve it. I must achieve it is agraha. Intransigence. Intransigence means I don't want to listen to anybody, I must get it. Not flexible at all. That is called agraha. Every agraha is a duragraha. Even though within the agraha, in the empirical realm, we have desirable agrahas, harmless agrahas and duragrahas, but according to Vedanta, every agraha is a duragraha, which is contrary to the truth. Every kind of struggle, the struggle to collect punya or the struggle to collect papa is contrary to the truth, is contrary to your existence, because you are already full. You can't become full by punya, you can't become full by papa. Therefore, niradhara means baseless. Human beings are busy with baseless, intransigent stands. Baseless. Why baseless? What do you mean by baseless? Means illogical. Fundamentally illogical in the eyes of Vedanta. What is illogical in the eyes of Vedanta may look logical in the eyes of a layman. A problem bhi hai ji. What is illogical for Vedanta may sound very logical for a layman. If a man is struggling to become happy, it is very logical for him. He can't accept it as agraha. ये तो जरूरी है जी. But in the eyes of Vedanta, every effort to become this or that, to achieve this or that, is a agraha. Except really discerning between Atma and Anatma, everything else that you do is a agraha. Because it is contrary to the truth, because it is illogical, we can say it is duragraha. And human beings are preoccupied with baseless, illogical agrahas in the eyes of Vedanta. In the eyes of Vedanta. And the sight of Vedanta happens to be the right. The Shastra's vision of what man is doing is right. He is preoccupied with baseless, illogical, intransigent views and stands. Mudhaha, and in this manner, the confused. When he uses the term mudha, mudha does not mean foolish and all that. Don't be reactive. Why does he call the human beings mudaha, murkha, etc.? Mudha means the confused. मोह धातु से बनी है, मोहित हुआ है, confused. Like a person who takes the rope for snake is a mudha. A mudha means he is confused about a fact. Unless really a scientist is a mudha, he can't make researches. Therefore every scientist is a mudha. Therefore, don't be reactive to the term mudha. Mudha means just a confused. And the whole world is, every jiva is confused, because every jiva is Brahman. Every jivatvam, every bit of individuality is an appearance. Like every sound is an appearance in silence. The foundation of all sounds is silence. And therefore, mudhaha sansara poshakaha, they nourish their struggle. The kind of struggle they have, it nourishes itself. The struggle nourishes itself. The desire promotes itself. The sansara promotes itself. The struggle promotes itself. The relationships promote themselves. The search promotes itself. The search is not conclusive. Whatever man does is not conclusive. It is endless. It goes on and on and on. The desires go on and on and on. The search goes on and on and on. It's not conclusive. If it is not conclusive, that means it's not going to culminate. I am not going to be out of it. In fact, I entertain a desire to be free from it. But a desire is not the way to be free from it. Because desire promotes itself. Therefore, desire promotes, it's called poshaka. Poshaka means it enriches itself. अपना को पोषण करता है. Therefore, whatever man does, it only promotes itself. The struggle promotes itself, the process promotes itself, the desire promotes itself, everything. If you do meditation, it promotes itself. Promotes itself means you get entangled. Every involvement is an entanglement. You can't really be free from any process in life. A life of marriage is not conclusive. Desire is not conclusive. Hunger is not conclusive. Taste is not conclusive. Thirst is not conclusive. Accumulating a process is not conclusive. Thus far, no further, ऐसा नहीं है. There is no such a thing called thus far, no further. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Man goes on, and therefore, and that is its nature. Desire promotes itself is the nature of the desire. इसको समझना बहुत जरूरी है जी. You have to understand the problem of man in a very subtle manner. Not in a very gross manner. Oh, हम लोग संसार में हैं, जब भगवान मिलेंगे सब ठीक हो जाएंगे वगैरह, ऐसा नहीं है. भगवान भी, if you search for Bhagavan, you will not find him. Because Bhagavan is hiding behind your search. Your shadow is behind, let us say. And you are running. Can you catch your shadow? No. You have to turn back yourself. You have to stop searching, stop running. The more you run, the shadow is also running behind you, not in front. You can't catch. ये बात बहुत in a very सूक्ष्म way it should be understood. Therefore, if every struggle only, attachments also promote themselves. I will be free from attachments, ऐसा कुछ नहीं जी. Attachment really will take roots. And choicelessly, it is in the nature of the attachments to give one unhappiness. You will worry about, if you are attached to your looks, you will worry about them. If you are attached to attachment, I am not talking about the equation. Equation to hai the adhyasa. Over and above adhyasa, you can have attachment to your looks. You can be attached to your weight also. You want to be thin and invisible, etc., etc. And if 1 ounce of weight increases, then you are worried. Attachment causes worry. If you are attached to the children, you will definitely worry. मेरे बच्चों को क्या होगा? मेरे बच्चों के बच्चों को क्या होगा? If you are attached to the house, and without the Atma Anatma Viveka, attachment is sure to happen in the mind of a jiva. ये तो पक्का है. Attachments happen choicelessly. It is not possible not to be attached to things without being a student of, without doing Atma Anatma Viveka. Without being a Vedanta Vidyarthi means in the right sense of the term, without doing the Atma Anatma Viveka, without really discerning between the being and thinking, without discerning between your existence and all that is objectifiable, let me tell you, it is just not possible not to be attached. Is it categorical, Swamiji? Yes. There is no question, because attachments are also choiceless. You can't choose not to be attached. वो तो नहीं होगा. As a jiva, you have to get attached. I have to latch on to somebody. I have to be preoccupied with some emotions. A jiva is prone to affections. If a jiva is prone to anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, etc., he is also prone to another emotion called affection. Because affection gives him happiness. He feels comfortable with the things for which he has affection. That is why he gravitates towards the things for which he has affection. That is how he seeks happiness through emotions. He seeks happiness through the object's pleasures. He seeks also happiness through emotions. If you have your granddaughter or grandson, then you will get attached. And if a Swami tells, don't get attached to your granddaughter, then you will stop coming to the class. And I don't want to take that risk. These are the things you have to figure out yourself, Ji. It is just not possible not to get attached, please, without being a student of the truth. Even if a person he is preoccupied with looking at his existence, which is totally different from what he has been thinking. He is absorbed in understanding himself. Then his sense of falsity about everything is clear. He determines the mithyatvam, the falsity of everything. When he sees the falsity of everything, then he can't get attached to the false things. My granddaughter is there, she is another individual jiva, and she will grow up, and she will go through her prarabdham, and she will leave the form. And she is also an eternal being. Her individuality also is false. Instead of saying, I am eternal, she is also eternal, creates a problem. How can so many eternals be there? Aisa nahi. My sense of individuality is false. Her sense of individuality also is false. Everybody's sense of confinement is false. Every sound is false. Don't say the silence behind this sound and the silence behind that sound and the silence behind that sound. They're all eternals. Then you get the bhranti. How many eternals are there? A mosquito's sense of limitation is false. A lion's sense of limitation is false. Embodiment is false. A human sense of embodiment is false. And therefore, everybody transcends that limitation. What can be transcended? Or what you find yourself transcended? Anything that can be transcended is mithyaji. This is a very subtle understanding. Anything that can be transcended is false. Therefore, moodaha sansara poshakaha etasya anarthamulasya etasya iska anarthamulasya, the undesirable reason. Non-understanding of the truth is the undesirable reason behind samsara. Truth is not the reason. Truth is necessary, but non-understanding of the truth is the reason for samsara. Etasya anarthamulasya mulachchedaha, rooting out. Krito budhaihi has been done by the wise. The wise do the rooting out of the reason for samsara. It is not that they get preoccupied with a desire which is inconclusive. They don't get preoccupied with the inconclusive things. That is the real wisdom. Don't be preoccupied with the inconclusive things. You help a man, and then you are kind. Your kindness is inconclusive. Because today you are kind to somebody and tomorrow you are kind to somebody, because in that kindness you get some happiness. Therefore you always want you want to see somebody who needs your kindness. and then it is inconclusive. No emotion is conclusive, please. It's a very beautiful thing if you are able to follow what I mean. Inconclusive means it cannot culminate. It goes on and on. Love goes on and on. Hatred goes on and on. It doesn't come to an end. Even if it is handled for a temporarily, but the trait to get to be hateful is always there. Man is prone to hate. His hatred for a given person may come to an end, but he is subject to hating somebody. He is subject to hatred. He is subject to feel jealous. He is subject to feel hate. He is subject to feel angry. He is subject. That his tendency to be subject to all these emotions continues until the understanding of the truth. Therefore, emotions are inconclusive. Therefore, beware. And every emotion is like a snare. I can get involved in an emotion, Ji. It is one emotion, but I can get entangled in it. It's nothing. Supposing I say, I have an emotion that everybody should belong to my religion. I can waste my life. I can just be dead in that process. I don't want my cousins to be rich, and I have a jealousy for them or hatred for them. Inconclusive. Etasya anarthamulasya moolachhedah kritobidai. Therefore, don't be preoccupied with the inconclusive things. Be preoccupied with the conclusive. There is only one thing that is conclusive. Atma, Anatma, Viveka concludes in understanding the truth, and that is conclusion. Sansara, avidya can be corrected. Self-ignorance can be negated, nothing else. Without negating self-ignorance, without correcting the self-error, you cannot negate anything, Ji. If you are disciplined, that is a bout. Because discipline can be followed by indiscipline. Dharma, Yudhishthira need not be always Yudhishthira. He can also tell lies. Therefore, emotional bouts, don't trust, don't imagine. They are not the answer, emotional bouts. Next verse, Ji. Nashantim labhate mudaham yatah shamitumichhati dhirastatvam vinishchityam sarvada shantamanasaham. Same kind, Ji. Na shantim labhate mudha. A confused person doesn't become peaceful. He is never peaceful. He is not peaceful. Even when we say he doesn't become peaceful, means he is not peaceful. Why? Yataha? Because shamitum ichchati. Because he wants to become peaceful. This is a very beautiful thing. He is never peaceful because he wants to become peaceful. I mean, this subtlety, to understand this subtlety, you have to understand. You have to use your brilliance. Simple common sense. Brilliance, according to me, is simple common sense. If he is already peace, conscious identity is a peaceful identity. It is a non-dual identity. It is unlimited identity. There are not many aspects of the truth. To be conscious means to be unlimited. To be unlimited means to be peaceful. There are so many words used for this from different eras' point of view. There is disturbance, therefore I said truth is by nature peace. There is limitation, therefore we say truth is by nature unlimited. Corrective of so many thoughts. Truth is contrary to all that I think. Therefore, na shantim labhate muda. Therefore, man always wants to become peaceful. He meditates to become peaceful. That is also spiritual desire to become. It is a spiritual process. What is the difference between a material process, physical process and spiritual process, Ji? I don't see any difference. It's a process. Because even in meditation, I am telling you can't become anything. You can only avoid a thought. That's all that is possible. And even if you avoid a thought, it can come back. That is also an inconclusive process. Thought needs to be understood as mithya, not thought needs to be avoided. If you try to avoid, it will come back again. Anything that you try to avoid, it will come back. You avoid food for some time, then you will make it up. For 1 week you diet, and after next week you indulge. You have bandara. Your weight is back to normal. Ye hota hai. Avoiding has its risks. But anyway, when it comes to getting peace, you don't become peaceful. At best, you avoid the thought. And what remains is only peace. But the problem with yoga is you avoid the thought will come back. What is the use, Ji? That is why it is inconclusive. You go to sleep and again you wake up. You wake up and again to go to sleep and again you wake up. It is inconclusive. It goes on. Now manifest, now unmanifest, now manifest, now unmanifest. It is inconclusive. Therefore, what is conclusive? Tracing everything that is inconclusive to the truth, your own being, existence. And your existence is not biological. Biological is only a form. Your existence is conscious. Maybe, Swamiji, is it not true? It could be true that I am a form with a conscious attribute, conscious property? No. Consciousness cannot be a property of the unconscious, the inert. Nor the inert can be a property of the conscious. They are like light and darkness. Light and darkness do not qualify each other. Similarly, consciousness and the body don't qualify each other. This beginning has to be done very properly. There should be no ambiguity about this point. Then you can go into Vedanta with great confidence. That confusion is a fact. Confusion is evident. I am the form is a confusion. And it can be understood also as a confusion because there is a resistance. That means my being the form is a confusion, and therefore my being confined to the form is a confusion, therefore my being limited is a confusion, and contrary to that confusion is the search. The search is, I want to be free from limitation. Yes, I want to be free from limitation. And I want to be free from limitation by way of through a process, becoming. And therefore, na shantim labate mudaha yataha shamitmich. Therefore, even meditation is a kind of an effort to become. Why? Because it is not possible to avoid every thought. This person, Gaudapada Karikakara says, avoiding thoughts is like a bird emptying an ocean. It picks up one drop from the ocean and drops it somewhere else. Is it ever possible? And if you can do that, you should be able to empty yourself of all the thoughts, manifest and unmanifest. Then perhaps you can be peaceful without knowing the truth. But you cannot empty the ocean. A bird cannot empty the ocean. Man also cannot empty himself of the thoughts. You can't empty yourself of thoughts and memories, please, perceptions. You cannot just remain quiet. You think you are really free from all of them. But you are carrying the potential for all of them come back again. You beat the wave down, it will come back again. There is no end to that. It is endless. Therefore, what should one do? This is what is to be understood. My perceptions, my thinking should be traced to my being. I have to do the tattva nishchaya. I have to determine. That my thinking is rooted in my being. My being is the satyam and my thinking is the mithya. Trace the wave to water. What looks wave is in fact water. Falsification of the wave is the answer to the wave. Falsification is conclusive. Understanding the false as false. It is not a process. It is a vidya, it is a jnanam. It's not a karma. It's not an effort. A ritual is a karma. It is done. But if I see the snake as false, it is my understanding, not I do it. I don't do the falsity of it. I don't bring about the falsity of the snake. It is already false, I only determine. I figure out the falsity of it. He is not figuring out a process, no. Figuring out is not a process. Seeing as it is not a process. Therefore, yoga is not the answer. The creation is not the answer. Disciplines are not the answer. Theories are not the answer. Theologies are not the answer. Nobody is an answer. No school of thought is an answer. Your existence is the answer. Understanding yourself is the answer. Swamiji, Vedanta means you. Your existence is the topic of Vedanta. Let not Vedanta remain information. Vedanta is your existence. Dhiraha, whereas a wise man. A confused man doesn't become peaceful because he wants to become peaceful. Understand? His love for peace is not really, the choiceless love is not to become peaceful. His choiceless love is to be peaceful. He wants to become peaceful. Why, sir? So that I can be peaceful. That also is a clue to the fact that your nature is akin to what you choicelessly love. What you choicelessly love is, you want to be. Therefore, Dhiraha, a wise man, tattvam vinishchitya, having determined the truth, sarvada hamesha shantamanasa, he is peaceful. A thinking man is ever peaceful. He doesn't try to become peaceful, he discovers that he is already peaceful. If the wave doesn't try to become water, it looks at itself and discovers that it is water. This is the Vedanta. It is this that makes a difference in life. That is, all that I want to be, that I already am. Tat tvamasid, all that you want to become, that you already are. All that you choicelessly want to be, all that you choicelessly want to become, that you already are. The unlimited that you want to be, that you already are. In fact, man always wants to be what he already is. He may use the term I want to become, etc. That is a confusion. But even behind the motive behind becoming also is the motive for being. That's what you want to. I want you to understand this point. Even the intention behind the becoming happy is I want to be happy. The love is to be happy. But man thinks the process of becoming happy is the means. Dhiras tattvam vinishchitya sarvada shantamanasaha. He is always happy. Therefore, figuring out your nature is what is required. Figuring out your nature. Figuring out the entire existence as one being. Figuring out your entire perception and your being is one. Like the wave figures out the entire ocean as one, water. Yes, it's figuring out. The wave figures out all waves are water, the ocean is water, I am water. In fact, I am water. In that determination, there is understanding also that all other waves are also water. I don't have to feel jealous of them. They are also water. Bubbles are water. Every living being is Brahman. Every sense of individuality is false. The truth of every individual transcends that individuality. Anything that can be transcended is false. The waking state is transcended. So the life proves the transcendability of. Transcendability means, I can be without, I can be free from it. I don't mind using that word transcend. Transcend is a term that can be used only between Satyam and Mithya. The Satyam transcends the Mithya. The word transcend has no affinity with time and space. That particular mountain transcends this mountain. You can't. It is beyond it. It is something that is different. Farther. It is farther in space. That mountain is farther in space than this mountain. But you can't say transcend. But human beings do use this term transcend even for distance. It transcends. And there you can get confused. If you are a serious student, what is this? The word transcend. is being used for the distant in space. Is the truth distant in space? No. The water transcends the wave, meaning the water is unqualified by the form. That is called transcendence. Whereas the tree doesn't transcend greenness. The rope transcends snake, but the tree doesn't transcend greenness. The tree is qualified by the greenness. Therefore, not to be qualified is what is called transcend. Our existence transcends our embodiment. Sarvada Shantamanasa. This is okay, Ji. The next verse we will see in the next class. Think about it. You have the best opportunity to study Vedanta correctly. If you are listening to me, understand you are lucky. Swamiji, you are praising yourself? No, I am not praising myself. It is stating a fact, yes. If you are listening to me, and if you continue to listen to me, if you come to my class, that means you are a Bhagyavan. There is no question about it. And therefore, take interest in studying Vedanta. Take interest in looking at your existence. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.